Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm filming this again because I forgot to turn my audio on. Hopefully I can remember exactly what I just said because I gave you the most beautiful description of this nakshatra. So let's get started again with Rahu in Swati Nakshatra. And what happens when Rahu is sitting in the nakshatra of Swati in your horoscope. And if you do not know where Rahu is placed, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the other planetary placements, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. And I have a new option to here of Mahadasha's reading. So, Rahu in Swati Nakshatra. See, Swati is a nakshatra that is actually ruled by Rahu itself. It's a nakshatra that is symbolized by this dry grass, moving and just swerving at its own pace. Wherever the wind is, it'll just go there. So what does that tell you with the nature of Swati? These people are extremely independent. They're about doing things at their own pace, going at their own, clock, not following a certain path. They're just, wherever it wants to go, it wants to go. And Swati is a nakshatra of business people, people who make negotiations, make deals, make contracts happen. Swati is about politics, like who gets what, where, when, and how much, which is the politics. And this is the reason why Rahu rules this specifically in the sign of Libra, because this nakshatra occurs smack in the middle of Libra sign. Because of the fact Libra is about business. It's about negotiations and partnerships, making deals, being a merchant. Why? Because Libra, as you think, is symbolized by the blind law lady. I don't know, I guess there's a name for it. I have no clue what it is. But Libra is actually a merchant holding the balancer, where he puts the weight on one side and he puts the merchandise on the other, and when it balances out, he'll give you the merchandise. That's the original symbol of Libra, not the blind law. That is something that just came later, and it really does not make sense because of the fact Libra is a very unbalanced sign. As much as we think it's about balance, no, it's always trying to balance things out, but it's always uneven, the Libra. But this is why Libra is about negotiating. Like, oh no, give me a little bit more. Oh no, give me like, oh give me no. Put a little bit more potatoes on there. Still not balanced. It's negotiation. Okay. So Rahu comes in here because Rahu is a natural energy, which is simply a head, symbolized by the head only, which takes things in and doesn't realize it when it's full. So the appetite of Rahu keeps going. It never feels that fact that, oh, I have a stomach and it's full now, I should stop eating. So that indulgence for material wealth is there in Swati. It's all about engaging and sucking everything that the world has to offer. So these people, when Rahu is in this nakshatra, in its own nakshatra, ruled by itself, shows these people are like life of the party. They're the life of life. They want to experience everything. They want to travel. They want to go to all the clubs. They want to buy all the fancy jewelry and all the fancy cars. This is why Rahu realizes for it to experience the world, it needs to do business. It needs to make deals. It needs to make big deals. And this is why Rahu does very well in this nakshatra. And these people become natural entrepreneurs. Like, even, I don't care if you're a janitor. I don't care if, you're an IT professional or you're a cashier at some department store. I've done all those things. I've been a janitor. I've been a cashier. I've been a salesman. It doesn't matter because all it takes, Rahu says, all it takes is a little spark to activate me. All it takes is $10 website to do online business, because Swati is all about online business. And this is something I've seen on my own. Either people with Swati Nakshatra go into like cloud computing and information technology, or they have online businesses, or they want to do some online business. Because Swati is ruled by Rahu. Rahu is what? The new age electric storm, that internet. The internet that we hold so dear to us. So whenever you do online business and your Rahu's in Swati Nakshatra, Rahu becomes active. Why? Because Rahu is internet, and Swati is representing the business side of online business. Like, especially regardless of if your Rahu is in this nakshatra or not, anytime you do online business, you activate your Rahu. Remember that. It doesn't matter if you have Rahu in the 3rd house, 5th house, 8th house. Anytime you do online business, Rahu is becoming active, because we always make the houses in our horoscope active by doing certain activity. Like, I had somebody today who was getting my Mahadasha consultation, and they have taken, I don't know if it was childbirth, or it must have been when I was doing childbirth, because they mentioned that I remember getting a consultation from you when you told me that after birth of my children, my life will, prosper in terms of wealth and, fixed assets and material wealth. And so they were emailing me because they had a daughter born beginning of this year, I think last year. But they were like, I suddenly got promotions, I got wealth coming in right after the birth of my daughter suddenly, and unexpectedly I'm like making money. That's what happens. So when a child is born and your 5th house is children, it becomes active. So if 5th lord, let's say, sitting in a good house like 11th house, 2nd house of wealth, what happens is the wealth start coming in. Same thing with any planet. When you meet your guru, when some guru initiates you under them, your Jupiter becomes active. Your 9th house becomes active. Wherever the 9th lord is, that becomes active. So if after meeting your guru, you got married, perhaps your 9th lord was in the 7th house. As soon as you met your guru, your 7th house became active with the 9th lord, and suddenly you found the person you wanted to marry. This is how beautiful astrology works. So this is why anytime, and if you have this, Rahu in the Swati Nakshatra, most definitely you should be like thinking about doing business. Like I was giving you an example, regardless of who you are, what you do, what you have done in your life. It only takes $10 to go to some hosting website and open up some hosting domain and open up some website. Because as soon as you do that, Rahu becomes active, Swati becomes active, and you start becoming innovative. Oh, wow, I just opened up a website. Oh, wow, I can sell things. Like, I remember when I first started my business of photography, and we got that check of $700 from the client. And we were like, whoa. Me and my friend were just like, dude, this is possible. I mean, imagine just making that per hour. Then I opened up some other business, which I still do. When I made my first, when I first got the order from that, like 6 years ago, I was like, oh my God, really? This is possible? Really? I mean, because at that, like, especially like 10 years ago, the money that I was making, it was literally, I couldn't even live in a one room. But when you get that client, when you get that person to purchase what you have to give, it's empowering. It is so empowering. It's better than orgasm, sexual orgasm. Because you see that the world is literally not just a global village, but the world is watching you. World wants you. This is what this Rahu in Swati Nakshatra does. It empowers a person to be that big tycoon, that big businessman, or that big politician. Politics is also about who gets what, where, when, and how much, which is basic politics 101. So they're very, very good at politics. Rahu knows how to put his way in and go to the top. So very strong position for Rahu, but at the same time, this is like a yin-yang position of Rahu. Rahu is still a tamasic energy. It is still a malefic planet. So Rahu, what it does, because it indulges a lot, it wants more. It gets greedy. And because it gets greedy, that greed may take them into the darker side, may make them do things that may not be the most moral. So you have to watch out for that. But if you have a very strong Rahu here, in a strong placement with good aspects, this Rahu will flourish as a business person. You should definitely do business. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of Rahu in Swati Nakshatra. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your Rahu is placed and all my astrological details and planetary placements and books and whatnot, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.